Cassidy Hutchinson once called herself a loyal foot soldier of Donald Trump, but that all changed after January 6th. Here's how she went from being a staunch Trump ally to saying the former president was no longer a strong Republican. Cassidy Hutchinson was born in 1996 and grew up in Pennington, a relatively small town in New Jersey. She attended Hopewell Valley Central High School, which is also located in Pennington. According to CentralJersey.com, Hutchinson was presented with the Hopewell Township Mayor's Award for Outstanding Civic Contribution for her work on the Youth Advisory Committee. After graduating from high school in 2015, Hutchinson went on to attend a 4-year college out of state. After graduating from Hopewell Valley Central High School, Cassidy Hutchinson attended Christopher Newport University, located along the Virginia coast. She majored in political science at the small university, which set her up for her future career in public service. Hutchinson was the first in her family to attend college, as she revealed in an interview with her alma mater in 2018. A senior at the time, Hutchinson said, "My classes are intellectually stimulating, yet it's my professors that will be my fondest memory. They have provided an enriching educational experience both in and out of the classroom, while offering constant encouragement." When asked about her plans following graduation, Hutchinson explained, "I'm keeping every opportunity at my fingertips and am open to any job that comes my way. I am confident I will be an effective leader in the fight to secure the American dream for future generations, so they too will have the bountiful opportunities and freedoms that make the United States great." While attending Christopher Newport University, Hutchinson was provided with several opportunities to grow in her career. In fact, it was during her university years that she started interning for politicians.
Because I had the goal, I need to spend the next few summers interning so I can eventually get a job in Washington.
After earning a scholarship to work in the U.S. Capitol, Hutchinson interned for prominent Republicans, such as House Republican Whip Steve Scalise and Republican Senator Ted Cruz. While specific details about her work with Scalise and Cruz weren't made public, the fact that Hutchinson worked for 2 high-profile members of the GOP was significant. Cruz was first elected as a U.S. Senator from Texas in 2012 and later ran for president in 2016.
We will get back and restore that shining city on a hill that is the United States of America.
Scalise, who is from Louisiana, was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 2008. While Hutchinson's internships for the offices of Ted Cruz and Steve Scalise were likely exciting, she eventually landed an even more high-profile internship. During Hutchinson's junior year in college in 2018, she obtained a position within the White House internship program. Her prestigious internship took place during the Trump administration. Hutchinson was excited about the opportunity, later telling her university, "I was brought to tears when I received the email that I had been selected to participate. Being selected to serve as an intern alongside some of the most intelligent and driven students from across the nation was an honor and a tremendous growing experience." During her internship, Hutchinson put her previous experiences with Congress to use within the Office of Legislative Affairs. She explained, "I attended numerous events hosted by the president, such as signing ceremonies, celebrations, and presidential announcements, and frequently watched Marine One depart the South Lawn from my office window." Thanks to the White House internship program, Cassidy Hutchinson was able to get her foot in the door of the West Wing. She gained recognition as an intern and later landed a job at the White House following graduation from college. In March 2019, Hutchinson was hired to help with the White House's legislative agenda. While she wasn't widely known to the public at the time, Hutchinson was doing what was viewed as important work by the Trump administration. During this time, she also established a good relationship with then Representative Mark Meadows from North Carolina. President Trump hired Meadows as his chief of staff in March 2020 to succeed acting chief of staff Mick Mulvaney. In March 2020, Hutchinson was hired as Meadows' executive assistant. Later that year, she became the special assistant to the president and coordinator for legislative affairs, according to her LinkedIn profile. Cassidy Hutchinson was among the many White House employees who supported President Trump's reelection in 2020. In fact, in September 2020, Hutchinson was photographed next to then White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany during Donald Trump's campaign rally in Swanton, Ohio. The two were seen dancing to the Village People's YMCA, which was often played at the end of Trump's campaign rallies. Due to the widely circulated photograph of Hutchinson and McEnany, Hutchinson gained attention from others outside of Washington, D.C. This included an opinion columnist, Nancy Colasurdo, who grew up in the same area as Hutchinson. As Colasurdo wrote in the Star-Ledger, the photograph made her shudder. However, Colasurdo also praised Hutchinson's testimony during the January 6th congressional hearings, writing, "On the stand, I found her credible, engaging, and yes, courageous. Do our politics have to be aligned for me to respect what she did? Not at all. She put country over party." After the pro-Trump rioters stormed the U.S. Capitol building on January 6, 2021, a number of White House officials decided to resign from their posts. Education Secretary Betsy DeVos was the first to resign on January 7th. In her resignation letter to then-President Trump, DeVos wrote, "There is no mistaking the impact your rhetoric had on the situation, and it is the inflection point for me." Other officials soon followed, including Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao, Deputy National Security Advisor Matthew Pottinger, and Acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf. However, some Trump officials decided to stay on the job until Joe Biden's inauguration on January 20th, 2021. These included Cassidy Hutchinson and her boss, Mark Meadows. As CNN reported, Hutchinson, like some of the others who remained at the White House, saw it as her responsibility to help maintain protocols. In retrospect, Hutchinson also described herself as a loyal foot soldier of President Donald Trump.
I think it's great.
On June 28, 2022, Cassidy Hutchinson became a public figure overnight when she testified to the January 6th committee. The committee was formed to investigate the causes of the Capitol riots and whether any public figures were complicit, including former President Donald Trump. Hutchinson was subpoenaed due to her proximity to Trump, as well as to provide the committee with insights into former Chief of Staff Mark Meadows' actions around that day. As ABC News reported, Hutchinson had previously sat for 4 depositions before the committee prior to her public testimony. During her testimony, Hutchinson explained, "I know that there were concerns brought forward to Mr. Meadows. I know that people had brought information forward to him that had indicated that there could be violence on the 6th. But again, I'm not sure if what he did with that information internally." Other notable parts of her testimony that day included information about President Trump's behavior on January 6, 2021. For instance, Hutchinson testified that she had to clean ketchup off a wall after Trump allegedly threw a plate of food. According to Hutchinson, Trump's plate-throwing incident was spurred after the Justice Department said there was no evidence of widespread voter fraud during the 2020 presidential election. She also relayed to the January 6th committee a conversation she'd had with Meadows in which he told her,
"Things might get real bad on January 6th.
In late 2023, Cassidy Hutchinson published a memoir in the wake of her testimony. Titled Enough, Hutchinson's book detailed information surrounding the January 6th Capitol riots, which was not a huge shock given her hearings before the House committee. What was interesting, however, was the way Hutchinson was able to provide insights and new details into the chaos at the White House around that time. Some of the more notable details Hutchinson revealed in her book included Meadows allegedly burning documents and leaking information to right-wing media. Hutchinson shared other bombshells in her memoir too, some of which have been pushed back against since the book's release. She told People magazine, "If somebody wants to attack the way that they come off in the book, I'm not going to hold myself responsible for what they may say about the way that they're framed. I'm holding them accountable to their own actions." Hutchinson's book also detailed President Trump's intentional defiance of COVID-19 safety measures and how Meadows felt guilty about the 2012 Republican presidential candidate, Herman Cain, dying from complications related to the virus. Hutchinson even accused Rudy Giuliani of groping her on the morning of January 6th prior to the Capitol riots. While some people have praised Cassidy Hutchinson for coming forward with her testimony and memoir, Donald Trump loyalists have portrayed her as a traitor. Even former President Trump has weighed in on Hutchinson, writing in a Truth Social post, "I hardly know who this person Cassidy Hutchinson is, other than I heard very negative things about her, a total phony and leaker. And when she requested to go with certain others of the team to Florida after my having served a full term in office, I personally turned her request down." It's also not just Republicans who have criticized Hutchinson for speaking out about the White House and January 6th. Democrats have also criticized Hutchinson for first having loyalty to Trump and then doing a 180 while testifying, according to columnist Nancy Colasurdo. However, as the columnist noted, she didn't have to testify in public, but she did her patriotic duty. While Hutchinson explained on the Rachel Maddow show in September 2023 that she still aligns with the Republican Party, she made it clear how she feels about Trump.
"I do not believe that Mr. Trump is a strong Republican."
Hutchinson then went even further, adding, "He has been indicted 4 times since January 6th. I would not have a clear conscience and be able to sleep at night if I were a Republican in Congress that supported Donald Trump."